Sandra Lee, I am so excited to be with you today on Soul Tribe Sunday. That's what I like to call it, so everyone can see all these special guests. And Sandra, you're an intuitive healer. Um, we have met before. I think that you're wonderful at what you do. I want people to really understand your background and how you got into this, and we'll go from there and explore more. So tell me a little bit about your background. What got you into being a healer with all these different modalities?
I got into doing healing starting with science.
I
I have
love
a bachelor's in chemistry.
it. Hmm.
And when I graduated from chemistry, I started doing energy work, started doing healing work because I had given casual massages and I didn't know what I was doing, didn't know if I was helping anybody, didn't know if I was hurting. And when I started studying Reiki and acupressure and these energetic things, so I was like, how do I justify this left brain logical science background and the fact this energy stuff actually does something? And so I was really only in my 20s when I came to terms with that and started being able to bring these two worlds together, the left
Right.
brain logical and the right brain spiritual, energetic woo woo stuff. Um, I was able to do both at the same time. And as
Right.
I got into then doing massage therapy, I kind of really capitalized on this scientific background. I like being able to help people understand what's going on in their body.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to health or symptoms or injury, people tend to get, oh, I don't know what's going on with these things. And I help people kind of ground with it and be comfortable and start being able to visualize what it is that's going on inside their bodies so that they can take control of it.
Sandra, and I think that's so important too. And I know from having a background in aesthetics, being with RMTs, massage therapists, healing practice of Reiki, but that science background just brings it to a different level. Because you really, the person, your client, that entrepreneur really knows that not only are you healing them, but you could give the explanation of what's going on in their body. And I think for some of us out there, especially even business entrepreneurs and that, they really want to know the why behind what's keeping them stuck. So I'd love to ask you, how, if the body is stuck in a certain area, how can you help them to get unstuck so they could be more productive?
Let me give you an example, a recent example. A friend of mine had a concussion and it was really affecting her and she wasn't able to work. It was so bad. I went on a Zoom call with her and I used Biofield tuning, so using a tuning fork and sound, and I helped to clear her brain.
Wow.
So, and after, and this really only took a couple of minutes, just a few minutes to help her clear her brain. And she said afterwards that she really loved doing this with me and that she understood her brain. She
Right.
understood what was happening in her brain in a way that the doctor hadn't explained to her.
Absolutely. I firmly believe that.
So I describe what's going on physiologically
Mhm.
so that the person is able to help themselves.
That's right.
So with the concussion, all the chaos going on in her brain. So I helped her visualize what you're going to do is you're going to take all of that chaos and let that energy run out down through your spine down to the ground. Explain the structures, the membranes and things like that. So it's like taking my science background and helping people relate to what's going on in reality physically that doesn't make sense to them.
That's right. Breaking it down, chunking it down into more or less, instead of medical jargon, which might go over our head and we just stop, we resist it because we think, okay, I don't quite understand. You don't want to ask a million questions, but you break it down so it's simplified and they can really work with that. And it all begins with understanding what's going on in the body. So I love that. And I love all the different modalities. And I know that you work with this human design chart. And I know you've done it on me, and I was blown away. And from what my understanding, when you did it for me, and I want you then to tell the audience what this is it really helped me to align with the truth of how I am and what I can work on and how to move forward. And since we spoke when you did that human design chart for me, I always have it in the back of my head. And now I know about why I resist. And that really helped. So, speak a little bit about how you incorporate that into your sessions with your clients.
So the human design chart is like a blueprint for who you are,
Right.
based on where the planets were at the time you were born. And it tells you the themes that are going to run through your life consistently, the themes that are going to happen everywhere. And when I do just like super short with people, I like telling them about where the sun was at the time they were born. This is what you do all of the time, 24/7. The story I most like sharing about this is, I was just in a networking meeting with somebody, and she talks about herself, which is what you do when you're meeting somebody. And I was like, oh, I wonder how that shows up in her human design chart. And I run a chart on the fly, and I told her, what you do all of the time is you just want people to feel love. Love for yourself, love for each other, feeling love, increasing the experience of love. And she said, well, yeah, of course. Doesn't everybody do that? And so I was like, well, yeah, I guess people do, want that. But this is what's unique and special about you. Your gift is that you help people in the world experience more love.
Right.
And it took what she does all of the time anyway and enabled her to see, oh, I'm giving my gift. I am making my contribution that is valuable. It takes her normal daily behavior, which is the same, right? Taking care of my kids, helping my clients, helping my husband, helping my community, just helping people be love, experience love. But I'm consciously aware of it now. And it changes everything.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
everybody wants to feel like they make a difference. I mean, that's why we become business owners, entrepreneurs. We want to serve. We want to make a positive difference in the world. And we want there to be more love. So for her, being consciously aware, oh, that person feels more love because they're working with me on their nutrition, on their health. There's more love for them. More love can be equated with more truth, making things better, more love from that person's perspective. So with human design, I help people look at themselves, their life, their business from that perspective. What is my foundational gift? What is my foundational contribution that I offer to my clients, to the world? What do I have more of myself through running my business?
Absolutely. It's just like they become in touch with the fact that maybe they're an empath and how empathetically they are reaching out and touching their clients, but it's through nutrition, or like I do, it's skincare, style, how you present yourself online. And just listening to you brings up the great point that if an entrepreneur was to work with you and they did feel resistance or blockage within their body, and you were able to create a strategy, help them through what you do to become better able to move through doing the hard things that they don't like to do, like sales calls and everything. it's going to release them and let them be in flow. And then that's where someone like myself comes into play because they can show up online a different version of themselves, more free and more able to be connect with their audience in a way that just feels real and authentic. So, hey, we work well together, Sandra.
Yeah. Let me give my own personal example of, working with the phone calls and how I take these different pieces and blend it all together to have me have a different experience of phone calls.
Right.
So, used to be making phone calls was virtually impossible for me.
Oh, like a
It's
lot
like,
of
ugh, that one ton phone that I talk about all the time because it's been such a thing for me. And what was there for me was I don't want to bother people. I'm afraid of bothering people. And looking at my history, okay, in my history, I felt like I'm bad and I hurt people. I'm bad and I hurt people. So it's taken decades of healing for me to get past I'm bad and I hurt people. So the technique that I'm doing now, the Make Anything Possible method, clears trauma from memories. And for me, this has been a life changer when it comes to finally taking the things I've been healing for 3 decades about myself. And it's like, so that now making phone calls is easier. Okay. Now let's look at from the perspective of human design. Okay. My human design, the strongest energy in my chart is about truth and integrity or the absence of truth and integrity. When I am aware of, when I am talking with this person, I want to help their life, their business have more truth in it.
absolutely.
I want to help them be better, be happier, make the world a better place so that there's more truth and integrity for them. There's more truth and integrity for me. I'm just making things better, right? So that's an expression of my human design chart.
Mhm.
So working with all of these different things, when I'm in this place of, oh, I don't want to make the phone, it's like my energy gets stuck and I'm not in the flow. What's happening scientifically in my body, energetically in my body, is I believe when I am stuck, when I am confronted, when I am afraid, the energy flow in my body stops. And I've spoken with an acupuncturist about this, and they agree with me that the meridian flow gets blocked anytime I am afraid, confused, don't know what to do. Think about that.
Yeah.
There's a huge impact to having these places. It stops the flow through the body. So,
Yeah.
what?
I was going to say, Sandra, I've jumped on one of your master classes, which I know you have one coming up. And as you're saying this, listen, lots of people, including myself, including you, everyone goes through those moments. But when you become aware that you are stuck and you accept it, acknowledge it, and learn to move through it, that's the key. But a lot of people are stuck and they don't know. They keep trying to persevere, and it's building and building on top of each other, and they're getting really weighed down, overwhelmed, and everything. So, in your masterclass that's coming up, it's your second one. I jumped on for your first one, tons of testimonials right in that class, one after another, of how you've changed their lives. And I mean, that's why I'm so appreciative of you coming so early in the morning, 7 o'clock, I think it's where you are, Pacific time, right? Tell me what people can expect in your master class.
Thank you for asking about this, Kelly. When we are doing marketing in our business, like I was just talking about, if I am stuck, if I am disbelieving, if I am avoiding or resistant, that energy gets stuck. And it's going to affect everything about how effective I am in my business. This transformation about realizing with the phone, it's like, oh, really? I just want to connect with people. I want to serve people. Making that shift on top of all the healing that I've done about the phone totally changes everything, changes my whole experience of talking to people on the phone. It changes my experience of when I'm doing content to go on Facebook, when I am working on my newsletter. If I am resisting, it's like that's going to come through in what the people who receive my marketing feel. They're going
Mhm.
to pick up that resistance. So, how can I be in alignment with what I am doing, with what I am putting out, with what I am saying when I am speaking with people? Coming from that place of how can I serve you? And we've all heard that it's like, yes, when you're talking with people, you want to come from in your mind, how do I serve you, be with you, receive you? But I think that there's a difference between saying this is what I need to do and actually experiencing it.
For sure. You have
So
that right, Sandra.
yes,
Yeah.
recently it's like I had a quantum shift. It's like, oh my goodness, this is what that feels like. And for everyone, I think it's different
Yeah.
what it takes for an individual to get to that point, to the experience that and that's what's available.
And that's the beauty of it. And that's the transformative process. And like I said, I saw so many people within your masterclass having felt that experience with your gifts. So tell me more about when it is. I believe it's this Tuesday coming up, the 20th of August.
Yes. So the 20th of August at 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Eastern time. It's going to be
Right?
on Zoom.
Perfect.
And the topic is energy alignment, healing tools for shining your truth through your business.
Oh, it's perfect.
So it's like, I love interacting with Kelly because it's so clear that who she is coming through in her business. Her truth comes through. My truth comes through.
That's right. That's right. So, a pleasure to have spoken with you today. Again, thanks for coming so early. I will put all that information on below in the comments. And I know you're going to have such a successful second masterclass. It's an encore. So, doing great work in the world. Thank you so much, Sandra, and all the best. And have a wonderful Soul Tribe Sunday.
Thank you, Kelly.